Hello everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we will be learning how to install a Postman as well as we can perform a basic CRUD operations using Mongoose. Firstly, you can install a Postman by going to a official documentation. All you need to do is you just have to install this software. Why this software is helpful is using a Postman, yeah, you can mock a UI. For example, if you wanted to test API without user interface, you will be able to test your API. So you can download this app. This is a logo of that app. Once that is done, uh, if you just open here, this is the Postman. Okay. Now we can just perform a basic CRUD operation using Mongoose. So since we have already installed a Mongoose in our application, all you need to do is just go to the official documentation, just check for the schemas. Why the schema is required is you can define what and all the field you need to save in a database. You just don't want to populate everything coming from the API payload. So to restrict that flow, you can implement the schemas. So all you need to do is you just have to import these things schema from Mongoose. Just go to our application. Okay, now this schema we have imported. Now this is how you can create a schema using this new. It's just instance, so you are creating a new instance using this new keyword. So let's create them. Uh, let's name it as block schema itself. New schema. Then you have to create like this. Let's keep just one field now. Okay. There are various schema types such as string, boolean, number, and date. You can explore those things in the schema type. But for now, time constraints, we are just going with only one field. Okay, now we have created this thing. Now you can export that schemas since I'm not splitting our code into modules, so I need not export this for now. I will later on refactor. I teach you how to refactor the code, how it works in the real world. Okay, you have created a schema, right? You have to create a model out of the schema. So for that, what you need to do is just create a model using this mongoose is already we have imported and we have pointed that instance in our application. You can simply create a model using this dot model method, and you can give some name to it, and you can assign the schema you have already created, right, as a second parameter. So it's very simple. Block model mongoose dot model. If you're totally new, it's better to follow a documentation since nobody remembers everything. It's better to follow official documentation. Okay, now you have created a model, right? Now let's since we have already connected to our database. Now we have also created a model. Now what we can do is now this will be get request, and for post request you can similarly make a post request response. Now you have to save why we are using this post method http method is if you wanted to create a new document to your MongoDB collection, you can use this post method. And all you need to do is you just have to create a new model. Like let's name it as new data. And using this new keyword, you can create a model. Okay. Now you can just save this thing. Since this is an asynchronous operation, you can go using this async keyword. And for now, since we have only one field known as title, that will be coming from response, right? Response dot body dot response dot body dot what we can give it as title. You can give the title. Okay. Now you want to give await and new data dot save. This will save the data to our database. So whenever you create a request, you have to end the cycle using this response dot send, or else the server will be keep on listening to that request. You have to close the socket connection. So that is how a client server architecture works. So it's better to close, like you can log created successfully, like that you can enter something. Now here you are here get request means fetching from the database, right? So to do that, you can use this http method known as get. So you can await response, await, and then um, what you can do, you just have to expose that model, right? Blog model dot. So there are various methods known as find to find the database. So since I'm using await, you have to use this async keyword. Okay. Now you can return this as response. Okay. Now this will do the trick actually. Now let's try hitting 777 and see what response we are getting. Localhost 777. Since no data is saved, we are getting an empty response. Actually, you can test this in Postman. Since I'm listening on port number 777, we get an empty response. Okay, good. To save, localhost host. Now we have to go to here and then click on draw and then JSON, and then since we have entered a title, new log. Why I'm entering a title is because here I'm just giving request.body.title type. So uh, we are sending that from request, right? So this is the body we are sending. So body and then title. If you enter, we are getting some error. Why we are getting the error? Okay, request.body. Okay. Actually, there is a concept of middleware. You have to make use of the middleware. Here, app.use. So, since it cannot parse just like that JSON, so uh, this is a global middleware available in Express. If you wanted to parse the body, so you just have to import this express.json. If you use .use, it will be applicable. This is a middleware. This will be applicable to your whole application, to whatever route you are specifying. So that is use case of use. Now we have done that thing. Now let's try saving. Am I not closing the connection? Oh wait, still I'm getting some error. Let's check that. This is the old error, and the app is crashing. The app is why the app is crashing. New Mongoose error. I'm not passing this thing. I'm just trying to debug in a real time. This is how we used to debug in our real life. So what you need to do is it's really, so there is some issue in saving. Okay, store data. So I'm just making use of the model, right? And I'm just trying to use that model. That is right model, and then avoid new data.save. Async avoid new data, new block model, mongoose model. Let's name this as model, and then try saving this. Yeah, actually the issue is because here I have specified as a block model, but I am trying to create it using a new block. That's it. Okay. Now, if you try the get request, let's now hit the get request. Great, right? It got saved, and this ID we haven't created, but MongoDB itself internally creates this thing. So if you just go to here and then just refresh this thing, let's go to database. Okay, if we go to collections, this is our in collections is like a table. Okay, if you know SQL and all, it's like a table, and each and everything is a document inside this. Okay, now delete request is very simple. You just have to copy this thing, copy this ID. Okay, and then before copying that, to delete it, there is a HTTP method known as delete, and it is also going to be an async operation since we are going to manipulate data in the database. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is avoid, and this is the block model, right? Block model dot delete, delete by ID, and then request dot body. Actually, we need not send from the body. For that, you can get it from the params. Params dot id. params itself is enough. If you wanted to do it like this, then you can give it a side. So what is happening is anything that comes after this, if you are going to enter a ID, then it will just delete that ID. So this is a params, and if you wanted to uh, query by query parameters, then you can go for a query request.query. For example, if you go to google.com, type something like you can type like Dhoni. If you see thing that comes after this question mark is query params. So this is how this is the use case of query params. But we are going for a params itself, just a params. And then you have to close this thing. User deleted successfully. Okay, now head to the Postman and then test HTTP host. I have copied that from ID from the database, this one object ID, and then I will just change this method to post. Did I save it? Again, the app is crashing. Find one. Okay, what does it says? It is telling operation buffer timeout. Actually, there is an operation known as delete itself. Let's go for a delete method because it also deletes by ID only internally. If you go through the documentation, it clearly says that. Again, we get that error. Must be an object. Okay, 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 okay. We are not passing. We are just passing request out params, right? Uh, but we have to pass it like ID. And now it will work. Request out params. Let's lock this thing. Request out params. Now let's try hitting this and then see from the terminal. Okay, request.params.id. This is right? Request.params.id. Okay, so block model. Actually, guys, it's working. Actually, that got deleted because there was no document with that ID present, so it was not working. Now let's try creating one more blog. I have to save this. Let's try creating blog is created. Now let's refresh models. Actually, we have to copy this ID and then delete. Yeah, you can see that the user is deleted. Actually, previously I have changed the name to block model, right? So because of that, I have copied a wrong ID. That's why it was not working. Of course, we have to add a fallback if the ID is not present. Then we should send the appropriate response. That I will just try adding in the refactoring session. Now let's try to update update this thing. So for updating the thing, there are two things. One is patch and put request. So patch will update the whole thing, but sorry, the put will update the whole thing, but the patch will update partially update the things, whatever you are trying to update. So I'm going for a patch version. Now in the patch also you will be sending body, right? So anyhow you will be sending your desired title as a body only. So for that you can go for sync and we have already created a model. In that model only we have that thing to be updated. Find by ID and update. So this is the method, and you can simply find by update. It takes in two parameters. The first one is the ID, and the second one is whatever you are sending from the body. Now, from where you will get the ID from? So that ID also, the document ID also, you will be sending as parameters, like how you send it for delete API, you will be sending here. So the similar thing, request dot params dot ID. So suppose if I wanted to update a title instead of new blog, you can go for it, and I will be just closing this response. User updated on blog, this blog updated successfully. Okay, now let's come to here. Now let's create a document. Okay, now let's go and get the request. So this is the ID you want to update. Now let's go to HTTP 7, and this is the ID, and it's a batch method, and the body is going to be title updated. Now save this to JSON. Now if we go to get request, we'll be getting new blog, right? But on updating this thing, you have to get updated. Now if you hit the updated, so this is the basic CRUD operations, guys. So in the coming up video, I will be teaching more about refactoring. Our code is not production ready. There are many things we want to introduce. So I will be talking that in our next one. Thank you.